Hi, my name is Lindsay, and this is my audience member, Rachel. When you hear the word autism, what do you think of? Some of you may picture someone who is very antisocial, or maybe a person who lives in their own world. Many of you have probably heard of this disorder, as its awareness has increased over the years. It is likely that you know or have met someone with autism throughout your life. It is also possible that someday, if you have children, that your child might have autism as well. While growing up, my brother and sister went to see a speech pathologist for help with language skills, and I would sit in on their sessions. This experience inspired me to study communication and science disorders at Ohio University. Autism is very inspiring to me, and I want to share what I know with everyone so they have a better understanding of this disorder. The knowledge of autism can help for better understanding of the disorder that is important for early diagnosis. There are several misconceptions of autism, and Pearson Learning Solutions gave examples in a text called Education, published in 2011, about the false reasonings of autism. One of the oldest and main misconceptions is that autism is caused by the environment. Basically, that means that the child's home life and the parent-child relationship contributed to them developing autism. A relationship that would contribute to this is one that is unstable, neglective, or abusive, and causes the child to withdraw from their environment. Which leads me to my second misconception of autism, which is that the child chooses to withdraw from their environment. That's also saying that they really don't have this disorder and they're just being stubborn as a child normally is. And the last and most recent misconception is that autism is caused by vaccines, and that has been disproved. Jean Berko-Gleason and Nan Bernstein-Ratner stated in a text called The Development of Language, 7th edition, published in 2009, that autism has a physical core. Like many disorders, it all comes back to the brain. In fact, children with autism have a much larger brain than children without autism. It's also known that autism is genetic, so if one child has autism, their sibling may have it as well. Now that you know the true cause of autism, it's also important that you know the signs. The American Autism Association website listed several vital signs for autism. Autism is very unique, and so are its signs, and the main sign to look for is a lack of eye contact. Children with this disorder don't have joint attention, which is when the caregiver and the child are focused on the same thing at the same time. When you're a child, they normally want to interact with others by pointing at objects, making eye contact with them and back to the object, but children with autism don't want anything to do with other people involved in their play activity. They also lack theory of mind, which is the realization that people have thoughts, feelings, and views of the world. So if a child with autism sees someone who's hurt, they ignore them because they don't realize that they have pain. Amy Leonard Goner, writing on April 26, 2009 in Time, mentioned that children with autism need a lot of structure. If something in their daily schedule is off, they will get very upset by it. My mom told me a story of a mom with a child with autism. Used to pack his lunch with round cookies like Oreos, and one day, for some reason, she didn't have those round cookies, and so she packed him square ones. At lunchtime that day, he opened his lunch bag, and he found the square ones and threw a huge tantrum in the middle of lunch just because he didn't have his round cookies. They also have delays in language, and a main component that they have a delay in is pragmatics, which is the social part of language, and then they also have delay in vocabulary. Identifying the signs of autism are vital because the earlier the treatment, the better outcome for the child. There are different therapies for children with autism, and the most effective are the behavioral ones. Behavioral intervention is when there's one skill that's specific, and then you have instructions for activities that you do with that child and a response that's supposed to happen from that child as well. So then you record that response and try to help them get the response that you wanted them to have. One of the downfalls to this therapy is that you're making them do something that they might not want to do. There's another therapy that's called Applied Behavioral Analysis, or ABA, which focuses on the interests of the child and is more successful because you're doing what they want to do instead of what you want them to do. So if a child's really interested in cars, then you will have your therapy somehow have cars involved in it. Having knowledge of autism will increase your understanding of the disorder and the children who have it. All in all, autism is a disorder that is complex and incurable. Knowing the causes, signs, and treatment of this disorder will help others become more aware of how people with this disorder live. Having autism or having someone close to you be diagnosed with autism is very difficult. The knowledge we have will help us move forward and make progress with these children more successful.